Avery.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the RNCC 2026 meeting. It is the 12th of January. It is 7 o'clock, and I want to thank you for joining us. Before we begin, I'd like to ask Garland Ellis if you wouldn't mind leading us through the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Before we begin, before we get to President's reports, I just wanted to say that Richmond is about 52 square miles. We have 30 neighborhood councils, 33, and there's only about 20 or so active. We're trying to reactivate the ones that are not active. We're holding elections for East Shore on Wednesday night. I want to thank those that are participating in helping us bring that group together. There's a couple other neighborhood councils that we're going to be bringing back to life. So right now we have a president's report. So I'd like to start with Garland Ellis, if you'd like to state your name, neighborhood, and give us your president's report. There you go.
Garland Ellis, President of Richmond Annex Neighborhood Council, member at large of the RNCC. We haven't had a meeting the last 2 months because generally we have them the fourth Thursday of the month, and that happens to be holiday time this time of year. And January is usually pretty rainy, although it's kind of trying to change on us. So we usually have our first meeting in February and get everybody back together again after it starts getting warm a little bit and not raining so much, and we'll go from there for another year.
Thank you. My name is Ardo Rentila. I'm the president of the Fairmead Hilltop Neighborhood Council and the chair of the RNCC. I'm also a director at large, or a director for West County Wastewater. For us, we'll be hosting the chief of police, who will not be at our 22nd meeting of this month. He will have someone else representing him, and we're looking forward to hearing some of the innovative ideas and just getting feedback from the community. So that would be my report.
Hi, I'm Jan Mignoni. I'm the president of the North and East Neighborhood Council and the vice president for the RNCC. We don't meet in November or December, but our first meeting will be January 21st, and that'll be Zoom only because I haven't filled out my paperwork yet. So, but we don't have anything planned yet. It's trying to see. We're hoping that the city will let us have a second event this year. We want to do Art in the Park again. We had real good feedback from the people that sold things there and that were there, so we're trying to hope that that will still move forward. So that's our big thing now.
Good evening. I am Lori Hart. I am the vice president of the Parchester Village Neighborhood Council and secretary for the RNCC. We had our last meeting in November of 2025, and our next meeting is tomorrow, and we're kicking off January with the MLK event that our president will tell you more about. So I'm looking forward to everybody coming out and having a wonderful day of service.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Garetha Johnson. I'm the president of Parchester Neighborhood Council and the PIO for the RNCC. And Happy New Year. So like Lori gave the report, we don't have our meeting until tomorrow, but we're going to have a day of service for MLK. And that's Monday, January the 19th, and that's from 9 to 12:30, where you could come and get sugared up and caffeined up and do the work. And then from 12:30 to 3, we have a program, and lunch will be provided with that. So I hope everybody signs up. And you don't have to do the whole time. I'll take 30 minutes or an hour, right? Okay, that's it.
Hi, my name is Bryce Alleman. I am a director at large for the RNCC and representative for Richmond Village and Metro Square. Nothing to report from our neighborhood at this time.
Thank you. I see a couple of neighborhood council folks in the audience. Would you like to get up and give a report for your neighborhood, or? I don't have a report tonight, but. That's fine. Would you? Sure, yeah, if you could step up to the mic.
Push the, bottom right.
There you go.
Hello? Hi, my name is Crystal Barton. I am the president of the Laurel Park Neighborhood Council. Our first meeting is going to be January 21st. We meet quarterly, so, and we don't meet in November, December either, so it's January 21st is our first meeting, and we'll have 3 more meetings for the year. And we're just, nothing really to report out because we haven't had our meeting yet, but we have some open positions in the executive part of our council, so hopefully we can recruit some people in our neighborhood to do that. And a couple of events, you know, we have in mind, even though we don't have neighbor to neighbor, but people were excited about some things, so we're going to try to find a way to have those things happen again. So that's our report. Thank you.
Thank you. I see Miss April Roy from Hilltop Village. Do you have anything you'd like to report, or?
Hi, everybody. I am the representative from Hilltop Village, and we are an HOA. However, we look forward to being a part of and keeping up with things that are happening in support of the Richmond community as we're all in it together. So they appointed me as the representative, and so that's official now, so I'm back.
Yay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Do we have anyone online?
Let's see. Please raise your hand if you're online. And there we go, Jim Hansen. Go ahead, Jim.
Hi, everybody. Jim Hansen, President East Richmond Neighborhood Council. Just a short report. We had a very good turnout for emergency preparedness workshop just at the end of the year. It was through neighbor to neighbor, and got a lot of people showing up, and we're really thankful for some very active neighbors from Friends of Tiller Park and the graduates from the CERT program here locally who did all the legwork on this. We'll be having our first meeting of the year next week, and we're going to kind of take the big picture. There's a lot going on in the world, but Richmond's doing a sea level rise plan, and we wanted to kind of take a look at that and get an update. So thank you.
Thanks so much. And David Alvarado, please. I'm pressing the ask to unmute for David. It's either not working or he's having technical challenges.
He is the vice president of West County Wastewater District right now.
David, can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. David Alvarado, Vice President, West County Wastewater District.
Thanks so much. Any other neighborhood coordinating council, neighborhood folks here? Raise your hand.
Margarita?
Yep, there's Rita, of course.
Hi, Margarita Midas, President of Marina Bay Neighborhood Council. And it looks like I'm having technical difficulty, but and also district at large for the RNCC. We closed out our year end. Hopefully you guys are hearing me. I feel like I'm frozen here. We closed out our year end with a community get together, which turned out fairly well, and we were also able to drop off some food and drinks to GRIP, and which is a nonprofit that feeds the unhoused. And we are getting ready to kick off this year with we have quarterly meetings, so our official quarterly meeting would be March, but we're looking to do a special meeting in February because we have upcoming elections. So we will be meeting in executive session to set forth the calendar for 2026.
Thanks so much, Rita. Last
it.
chance. Last chance for folks in the meeting virtually, if you're representing a neighborhood. And take it away, Ms. Coffey.
Hi, Santa Fe Neighborhood Council here, and we are also meeting quarterly. Our first meeting will be coming up the 22nd. We closed off the year with our Hug-A-Bear dinner, which was a great success, the biggest one we've ever had, and we honored Chief French, and it was a great way to close out the year, and we're looking forward to lots of good work for 2026.
Thank you. I just wanted to remind everybody that the RNCC meets 10 times a year, once a month. December, we have our holiday party. In August, we have a retreat where we meet together and discuss issues for the neighborhood councils. Moving on, if you have an announcement for any group, please give the information to our Public Information Officer, Rita Johnson. Ms. Johnson, do you have any announcements?
Yeah, I have a couple. There's an event for the RCF Connects, Legacy Connection, and that's on February the 7th at the Berkeley Country Club from 5:30 to 10 p.m. But Cordell didn't give me any other information, so I'm not sure whether this is a free event or you have to buy, if you have to buy a ticket. So I would just look up RCF to see if there's any there's any information on their website. And then there's a New Year's mega mixer for the 4 chambers and our community, celebrating a new year of cooperation and opportunity. And that's on January 26, 2026 at 5:30 to 7:30 at the La Strada Restaurant. And that address is 2215 Church Lane, San Pablo. And this event is $12.50 for non-members. And there'll be appetizers will be served, and it's a no-host bar. And again, on the 19th, January 19th, there's the MLK Day of Service at the Parchester Community Center in partnership with the City of Richmond and Neighbor to Neighbor. That's it.
Thank you. And so we're going to get on to our presentations. First, I'd like to say a few words about our previous chief, Bisa French, who we're going to miss tremendously. But we've got a great brand new replacement, and we're looking forward to working closely with Chief Timothy Simmons. And I know that I invited him to our neighborhood council. He won't be able to attend, but he's got some new innovative ideas, and he'd like to get some feedback from communities and rekindle that relationship that the police department had at one time with neighborhood council. So without further ado, Chief Tim Simmons.
Thank you, Chair Renteria. I appreciate that. RNCC and neighborhood council presidents, thank you for your time this evening. And again, Chair Renteria, I really appreciate you getting me on the agenda. One of the things that he and I spoke about last week is having a standing spot on the agenda so that as frequent as often I can have an opportunity to come here. And precisely what the chair just mentioned is reestablish that really close-knit relationship where the folks in the RNCC and the neighborhood council presidents and their boards understand what's going on in the Richmond Police Department and how we can better serve this community. One of my favorite definitions of community is simply a group of like-minded people. And the only way we become like-minded is if we spend time together. It's birthed out of relationship. It's birthed out of understanding what's going on and not just being responsive to a situation or an issue, but really being responsive to relationship, because that's how you solve problems. It's not the responsibility totally of the police department. It's not the responsibility totally of the community. But when we come together and when we link arms and when we find ways to become like-minded, I'm of the opinion over my career in law enforcement, that's really where you're able to find solutions. That's really where you're able to build something that matters. And we saw that in the years past when we had a really close, tight-knit relationship with all the neighborhood councils. And then due to some unfortunate circumstances with budget and staffing, we started to have this reduction where we were having to eliminate specialty assignments and officers were stretched thin, which is kind of what we're trying to come out of. So I'm going to speak a little bit to that, but over the course of this year, one of the goals that I really stressed to the chair was when I look back at the end of 2026, or when I sit here and we talk about how reflecting back, I want us to be able to look back and say, wow, maybe it's not exactly where we want to be, but we have a lot more integration at that grassroots level with officers building relationships with the neighborhoods. And I'm not going to sit here and say the goal is that it's perfect and the goal is that it's back to where we were, but that we've improved and that it's better. It's better then than it is right now. So that's one of my goals this year. So good evening to everybody. I appreciate your time, your engagement, and most importantly, your commitment to the safety and well-being of your neighborhood. Tonight, I want to address a few immediate issues and mid-range goals as I step into the new role as Richmond's next police chief. It was my honor and privilege to serve as the assistant police chief under Chief Bisa French for the last 3.5 years, and I was one of her captains for 3.5 years prior to that. So I've got 7 years of really working directly with Chief French on her senior command team. I want to say up front that I started my career with the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Department 19 years ago. And then after 2 years of service with them, I laterally transferred to RPD as an officer. I'm a 17-year veteran of RPD. I've worked in every bureau within the police department and have served at every supervisory and management rank within the organization. I'm a Bay Area native, born in the city of Vallejo, with strong family ties to Richmond. I actually have family in this city. I've met my wife in this city, and her entire family still lives here in Richmond. I'm passionate about the potential success of our city and the potential success of our police department. My general policing philosophy is grounded in community service and neighborhood relationships, and it's informed by the people who call Richmond home. And I just want to really reiterate that. That's really one of the core values of where I come from and the lenses that I see this job through is how can we work with the RNCC, with the neighborhood councils, and other neighborhood stakeholders like business owners and people that call Richmond home. There's got to be a partnership in order for us to deal with the issues. Otherwise, we're just simply putting Band-Aids on things, and we're going to be back at this issue again in just a matter of time. But we can find solutions if we work together. So I want to begin by speaking candidly about an issue that we're experiencing in Richmond right now. Over the last 90 days, our city has seen a troubling increase in violent crime. During that period of the 90 days, we've had approximately 50 separate shooting incidents involving named victims. Not necessarily people struck by gunfire, but people who have been the victim of gun violence, either shot at, shot and hit, their homes have been shot up, things of that nature. We've had 50 incidences in the last 90 days. These are not abstract statistics. They represent real people, real families, and real trauma at the neighborhood level. This level of violence is unacceptable and is something that I take personally and professionally. At the same time, I want to be transparent about another difficult decision that has affected our investigations capacity. As many of you know, the Richmond Police Department temporarily disabled our Flock automated license plate reader system after discovering that some of our data became vulnerable to access by outside law enforcement agencies. This was contrary to our understanding and belief that Richmond's database was fully closed and protected. And let me be very clear. Protecting community trust and safeguarding data are not optional for me, and they're not optional for our department. They are foundational. Richmond is a city that values privacy, accountability, and transparency, and our policing practices must reflect those values. While the decision to turn off the system has had consequences, I firmly believe it was the responsible action to take once concerns with the system were identified. With that said, there is no denying the operational impact. At this time, we have approximately 16 violent felony investigations which flock data would likely have provided detectives with critical leads. So over those last 90 days, we had 16 traumatic incidents, a couple homicides, some shootings, a really pretty violent armed carjacking, some really violent armed robberies, where the individuals, the perpetrators involved in these crimes, utilized a vehicle in the course of the commission of the crime. And what Flock ALPR system allows us to do is have immediate information about where that car is right now. And it allows our patrol response to be immediate. And it allows, if there are other outside folks that are coming into our city who committed crimes in other cities, when they put that information in their Flock system, we'll get a hit immediately that that car is entered, because we don't live in a bubble, we don't live in a vat. People that wish to do harm, they will travel from city to city. We all know this. And if we can work as a department and as a community to not today, you're not coming to Richmond today, and if you do, we're gonna find you, we're gonna stop you, we're gonna intervene. That's what our goal is with the Flock system. The absence of that technology has handicapped some of our investigations. And I know how frustrating that is for victims, families, and our investigators. Since identifying this issue, I have personally participated in multiple meetings with Flock executives, asked tough questions, and got down to what the issue was and where was the failure. In those meetings, I was direct about two things. First, my concern that the system made our data vulnerable in ways that were not clearly disclosed during the onboarding process. And second, the need for any technology we use must align with Richmond's values and legal expectations. To Flock's credit, Flock has worked diligently to address the issue. Am I still good to go? Okay. To their credit, Flock has worked diligently to address the issue, and I am carefully evaluating the remedies before making any decision about future use. But I do plan to come to council probably in early February. My ultimate goal is to get the system back up and running the way it's intended. And I want to clarify something. There's two different types of cameras in Richmond. One is the ALPR, which is the automated license plate readers. That takes a picture of a license plate and allows us to associate what that car may have been involved in when it comes to criminal activity, okay? The other cameras are called pan-tilt zooms. That's the CCTV system. It doesn't have a data sharing capability like the way the ALPR. So our CCTVs, those cameras have been up and running, and we've been utilizing them in the police department without any interruption. So I just want to make sure it's clear. They're both under the Flock program, two different systems used for two different things. Make sense? Okay. So this situation underscores a broader point. Number one, technology can be a powerful tool for public safety, but it must never come at the expense of our community trust. And I want to reiterate that community trust will always take precedent over some tool, some piece of technology, some policing tactic. Because I believe when we have community trust, all the rest of it will follow and it will be successful. My priority is to ensure that we leverage technology responsibly, transparently, and in a way that reflects the expectations of the people we serve. Public safety and public trust are not competing goals. They are inseparable. In addition to technology, staffing in the police department remains a critical part of our strategy to interrupt this cycle of violence. I remain fully committed to hiring both lateral and new police officers to fill our current vacancies. We have about 22 vacancies in the police department right now. Recruitment and retention are not quick fixes, but progress is being made. Just this morning, today, we swore in 4 new lateral police officers. And a lateral police officer is somebody that has training and has been working as a police officer at another jurisdiction, and we were able to recruit them away from that jurisdiction to come work here in Richmond, which is important because they don't have to go to the police academy. They don't need another 6-7 months of training, and they bring a certain investment that's already been invested in them and a certain level of expertise that they've learned. Richmond now gets to benefit from that investment. So 4 new lateral police officers was this morning, and I anticipate the opportunity to swear 4 more in the very, very, very near future. I've been interviewing other laterals, and I'm planning a swearing ceremony soon, which will give us, I think, another 4. As our staffing numbers improve, my intent is to redeploy the specialty units dismantled over the past several years. These were units that were focused on relationship building, which I talked about earlier, in our business districts, in our neighborhood councils. They were traffic enforcement that was provided for across the city that we had to dismantle. Proactive enforcement, targeting repeat and violent offenders, so the ability to stay on top of the people that we know are the ones out here continuing to commit the same types of mayhem and disregard for our community safety. We know who they are, we just don't have the resources to be that proactive sort of guardian in that way, where I want to get back to us having the capacity to do that. Our violence reduction teams and our community-based problem-oriented policing. Again, that's being able to have officers assigned to every operational neighborhood council, where I was just talking to Ms. April. She knew who her officer was, and the community, her neighborhood knew. And they knew who to call when something strange was happening, or if streetlights were out, or anything. The goal is to get back to that. Equally important is how we engage with this body here. My vision is to return to the grassroots partnerships that once defined the relationships between the Richmond Police Department and the neighborhood councils. I want officers back in regular, meaningful contact with residents and business owners, building relationships, establishing accountability, and working collaboratively to solve neighborhood-specific quality of life issues. Policing is most effective when it is done with the community, not simply in the community. Finally, I want to extend a personal invitation to the RNCC board and the Richmond Neighborhood Council boards. I would be honored to have the neighborhood council presidents and their boards join me at my swearing ceremony, which will be this Thursday, January 29th at 3 p.m. Not this Thursday, that following Thursday, excuse me. Thank you, Arto. Next Thursday, January 29th at 3 p.m. It'll be here at City Hall, probably across the quad over in the auditorium area. Your presence would mean a great deal to me, and it would reflect the partnership that I'm committed to strengthening. And it would send a message to our rank and file and other community stakeholders that this relationship is valuable. What I ask is that you RSVP, because we have to account for the seats, and we're going to have a little reception afterwards. So if you can make it, please RSVP directly to me at tsimmons, TSIMMONS, at richmondpd.net, or you can get a hold of my Chief of Staff, which is Lieutenant Donald Patchen, and it's D. Patchen, PATCHIN, at richmondpd.net. Or to be safe, send an email to the both of us. One email that's sent to the both of us, we make sure you get on the RSVP list. Thank you again for your time, your candor, your openness to relationship, and your continued collaboration. And I look forward to working with you as we address these challenges together and continue building a safer Richmond for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have time for a few questions?
Absolutely.
Comments?
Certainly, yes.
Presently, the officers rotate their assignments every 6 months, which makes it kind of difficult to kind of get to know one if they keep moving in and out. Is that going to change? It's
So-
not that we're against their officers
Yeah.
picking, but it makes it harder to get to know them.
The 6 month kind of was birthed out of what our current staffing levels are, and as we continue to build back to where we were, that's one of the things we do hope to change back, is having the annual selection process. That is a negotiation, it's a meet and confer we have to have with the RPOA, because it's a change in the working condition. But it's on the list of things that we can impact positively once we get the staffing. We don't have to get all 22 positions filled before we can get there, but I need to get maybe half of them filled. So, but I do recognize that is an issue, and it is on the list of things that we hope to have ironed out as that changes.
Any other questions?
I'm grateful, thank you for your presentation, and I'm very grateful that you brought up the beat cops, because the relationship that you mentioned with April Moore was one that Parchester once had, and it's been rough, not knowing who to call or feel like that you have assistance. And it's kind of like, I'm not going to say an animal or zoo or anything, but the natives are very restless. They don't see the presence, and so it's becoming evident, and we definitely need to have that presence out there, and we look forward to working with an individual and reestablishing that, so that we, the community, want to be involved and we want to help. We just don't know who is here, who our representative is. And it's feeling like a void. It really is. So I'm very grateful that you mentioned that, because that was my question to you, but you answered as to, that was my question tonight. It's like, I have a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have no beat cop. I have nobody to come, not just to give me stats, but just to say, hey, this is what's going on and who I can contact. I probably have 12 of your officers' names, but from the past, but I don't want to, run down and go through that. I would like to know who my dedicated person is, so we can, establish that relationship, so we can work together to better our neighborhoods. So thank you for that, because that is a concern of many neighbors, and I'm grateful that with you at the helm, that you recognize that,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you're working on improving that relationship.
Message received, Ms. Hart, yes.
I have a quick question. Parking enforcement is under you guys.
Yes.
Do they go into the neighborhoods at all, or McBride's got, we have 2 cars that are broken, been in accidents. One's got a broken axle, and the other one's been sitting there for, a month at least, and nobody calls them in, so they just sit there.
Yeah, so parking enforcement right now, they are scheduled to, they are on the same track and schedule as the street sweepers are, because of the street sweeping program. And then we have at least one parking enforcement officer assigned to the business district on 23rd Street and McDonald Avenue. The hope is always that they see things like that in that process and are able to take a proactive, approach to either red tagging that car or getting it towed. And I understand those things get missed. I would highly encourage that you email either myself or even Captain Lopez, and he'll be introducing himself here shortly. And we can get that information directly to parking enforcement almost instantaneously and get it on their radar to have something to deal with and address either that same day, if not that day, the next day. So, there's also always the tow line that you can call, the parking line, but I got to tell you, they receive, I don't remember the total number, but it's in the thousands of reports and on a month, and sometimes To be quite frank, like certain individual can get lost in that. So if there's like a situation that's glaring and it's like, man, this is right in front of everybody's face, give us a call, give us an email. You have our contact, and we'll get that, to the right people.
All right. Do we have any questions online?
Please raise your hand online if you have a question.
None online?
Nope.
Okay. Would you like to come up to the mic and ask your question? So the,
Yeah, we'll be together. Come on.
this is being recorded, by the way.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask, you mentioned the ceremony, you didn't say what time.
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
3
Okay,
p.m.
Okay, and so we either email you, okay? I'm gonna do
Please.
that. And then I just wanted to make a comment, the importance of the beat officers and knowing when they change. And so at Laurel Park, several have switched out, but I was unbeknownst, I'm emailing one person and no one ever emailed me back.
He's not the beat officer anymore.
And I'm like, okay, and then I find out it's somebody else and so forth. And, but I will say that for my upcoming meeting, Officer Fernando Garcia responded, and he said he'd be there. And I understand there may be things that happen that may pull him away, but I appreciate that. I've actually either called or texted him a couple of times, and I just wanted to let him know he's been very responsive.
Thank you. I appreciate
and so
that.
I wanted to let you know that we appreciate him, and I appreciate the open communication, and it feels good to have someone that you can contact and they'll call, get back to
Most
you.
definitely.
So thank you.
Yep, thank
3
you.
p.m.
3 p.m.
I'll be there. Crystal.
Thank you, Krista.
All right. Also, Donovan Decius had told me that for any neighborhood council presidents, if you want to send him a schedule of your meetings for your neighborhood councils, we could still send it to.
I would actually encourage you to send it to Captain Lopez. That's actually Lieutenant Decius'
Yeah, Lieutenant
boss.
Decius, yes.
And it would be best coming like from the top down.
Yeah.
So he'll be introducing himself shortly, but his email is JLOPEZ, J Lopez @richmondpd.net. He's sitting right behind me here.
Okay.
And he is our patrol commander, and pulls all the levers that need to be pulled for our patrol responses.
Right. And so before you go, I also wanted to give a shout out to Bill Roderick. He's a legend in our neighborhood.
He's a legend in our department.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we had neighborhood council meetings. We had 12 of them back in the day, and he would show up to each and every one with all the stats in hand and a card for anybody that asks or needs his assistance. So I'm looking forward to getting back to those old days where we recognize our beat officers and they have their crime stats in hand.
Sir.
So I applaud you for that.
One question online from Michelle Melan.
Yes, thank you. It's Michelle Milam, RPD Crime Prevention Manager. I just would like to thank the chief for his comments, especially about restoring some of the connections with our beat officers and communities. As you know, we have Neighborhood Watch and a lot of Business Watch and other programs that benefit from having a regular officer. And so I appreciate also those comments. Wanted to also let you all know that for our monthly crime prevention meetings, which happen on the fourth Wednesday of every month, we are looking for topics that you may be interested in. We just had a topic around our tobacco retailers license smoke shops, and that was recorded and shared. So I'd love to hear from neighborhoods about what some of the topics you'd like to see for this year could be for our monthly meetings. So feel free to reach out to me and I will share my information with those who don't have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Chief Simmons, if you don't mind stepping up, this is from our neighborhood council for your man cave.
That's pretty fantastic.
Right? Right? So here's the box that goes there.
I love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And congratulations on your
Thank you, sir.
new position.
Thank you, yes.
All right. Well, thank you for your presentation. And I guess we'll move on to Captain Lopez.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Captain Lopez, John, J-Lo, the original. Sorry, I got to hold back my jokes for tonight, but I'd like to introduce myself. I am, as the chief mentioned, currently overseeing our patrol bureau, which is everybody in pretty much in the uniform, except for the chief, except for the boss. Is under my command right now. I want to introduce myself and kind of show face to say that we're in line with the chief's directives and what we're trying to do, and I guess I would say the direction that we're moving to. I remember when I was a beat cop, Jan remembers me as well, and I had the Northern District going to neighborhood council meetings and giving stats and being one-on-one and being able to talk to people and get into the real root causes of what's the disturbances in the neighborhoods. That is our goal as well. It's not always going to be the hot crime or something that is maybe making the headlines. A lot of times it's going to be those blight issues, trash, prostitution, cars, abandoned vehicles. But the community members are the eyes and the ears. So one thing that we want to do in the meantime, we do want to get our officers back into those neighborhood council meetings, but we also have supervisors who are in charge of each beat. So if you guys are aware, we have the 3 districts, the northern, southern, and central. And in those districts, we have the 3 beats. Well, all of our patrol staff, our sergeants, our supervisors, we have 10 of them on patrol. Each of those 10 each have a beat assigned to them. Beat 7 in the northern district has 2 beat sergeants, just because it's kind of a larger beat. But with that comes, for me, is when I relay that information to them is, I want you to make sure that you're engaged with the community and the neighborhood council meetings and ensure that our officers are attending those meetings too. I know the Northern District Sergeant Ramos is going to be attending those meetings, and when he's unable to attend, whenever our supervisor is unable to attend, we want to make sure that we have those beat officers there because we understand that there's a 6-month deployment, and that's for strategically right now for a reason. But in the future, in the long run, again, we want to prepare our officers for the future. The why? Chief French was mentioning it today. It's the why. Why do we get into law enforcement? What was the purpose of getting into law enforcement? Is some of it was to catch bad guys. Others was to do good, and to give back and to be in service. For me, service provider. And Chief Simmons. I'm not blowing smoke. Sorry. But Chief Simmons talks about all the time how, we are we're servants of this community, right? And so that's one thing that we wanted to reflect on. I will be attending regular RNCC meetings from here on forward. Whether the chief's here or not, I'll be here as well. I'll provide stats, answer questions. And then also, if there's ever a council meeting that an officer's not attending, reach out to me. Let me know. Get on the horn. Either I'll be there, or I'll make sure someone's going to be there. My email is jlopez@richmondpd.net. That's probably the easiest way to contact me. It goes straight to my cell phone. I have one cell phone. I get a ding whenever it goes off. So just reach out to me, let me know, and I will make sure to get back to you and get an officer there to you. And not just an officer that's never works your neighborhood. Let's get an officer that actually works your neighborhood, knows some of the problems that's going on in your neighborhood. So that's kind of our direction and our goal, that we want to make sure that we come back to the community with right answers, stats, and actually get to the root causes of some of these problems. So that's me in a nutshell. Our patrol staff, as we mentioned right now, currently our staffing, as the chief is mentioning, is actually, it's getting better, which is nice. We, at one point during 2025, we were down to probably, I believe it was 41 officers working the streets total for the entire city of Richmond. That was pretty low. It was a headache. It was a nightmare for me. Right now, our goal is to get up to 55 officers, which is 11 officers per team. And for those who don't know, we have 5 patrol teams in the city of Richmond. During the weekday side, Monday through Thursday, we have 3 patrol teams, teams 1, 2, and 3. Work a day shift a swing shift, and a graveyard. And then during the weekends, we have 2 patrol teams, Team 5 and Team 6. They work 12.5-hour shifts, and they man the weekends. So our goal is to get to 11 officers per team. Some shifts are more demanding than others. We understand that, so we kind of we put personnel where we can. But right now, we are sitting at 49 officers total that is on patrol. And that's not including the sergeants, that's not including the lieutenants, that's just officers that are working. And that's also not including those who might be injured or off. Those are active working officers that are on the streets. So we're up to 49 right now. Our goal is 55. We have, as the chief mentioned, we have a few laterals who just got hired on. We have some more that are in training right now. We actually have 3 that are in training right now that hopefully will be cut loose pretty soon. And then we're also hiring a lot more officers. So our goal, and then the chief's goal, is by June we should hit that 55 mark, which is great. And then with those extra officers working the streets, there's extra things that we can do for our community members too. So I'll keep you guys updated with our staffing as well. And then yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, I'd like to start out real quick and ask you, I'm happy that Rick Ramos is in our area because I grew up with his father, and his grandparents lived a couple blocks away from me. So Rick is kind of coming full circle, which is really nice.
Yes.
That's why I was going to ask, how many of those 4 that you brought in, are there any of them local?
There are 3 of them are former Oakland PD officers, and one of them is a former CHP officer with 12 years experience with CHP.
Okay. I will come back with some more questions, but
Sure.
Do you have any questions?
So, Mr. J-Lo, we have our
Yes, ma'am.
meeting tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any way you can work your magic and get me a beat officer? Because I haven't seen anything. I have nobody to invite. So I will email you tonight.
Yeah.
Just for this. And if you can give me a contact, and I'll also forward you our Zoom link.
One,
We
I'd
would
love to attend as well, myself, and then I'll also make sure that I introduce you to our beat sergeant, and then also get a beat officer out there.
You
For
see
sure.
that spread out there? That was Parchester. Just let them know.
Ooh,
If
I
they
like
come
it.
in
I like
person,
it.
I'm
I
a
like
coffee
it.
lover. They're gonna get taken care of.
Yes,
so.
ma'am.
All right, thank you.
If there are any online questions, please be sure to raise your hand.
Any questions from the audience? No? I did want to ask what the definition of teams were. You said there was 2 teams. Does that mean a pair in a car or 2 cars or?
Great question. Yeah, no, so there's 2 teams as far as on the weekend shift. So we have a team 4, which consists right now of 11 officers themselves, and they work day shift. So that's from 6:30 in the morning to 6:30 in the evening, or actually 6 o'clock in the morning to 6:30 in the evening. And then we have a graveyard or team 5 shift that comes in after that. And that consists of right now 10 officers.
When you say 11 officers or 10 officers, is that 11 or 10 patrol cars as well, or?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Just email you, everybody should email you their schedule for the year.
Yeah.
And,
And again, I work really closely with Michelle. Michelle, I love her. She's great. Crime prevention. And so we work very closely together. So
Okay.
any troubles, let me know.
One question online. Laura, Austin, please go ahead. Laura, I'm clicking ask to unmute. Well, it's either not allowing her to unmute or, honestly, I'm trying.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, I guess we'll just move on then.
Yeah, apologies, Laura, please feel free to reach out directly to Captain Lopez if you have the opportunity.
And could you repeat the email address again?
Yes, that was jlopez@richmondpd.net.
And for the general public, basically, when you're trying to reach an officer or email an officer, it's typically their first initial and last name at PD.
Typically, but there's some that have their serial number, and then we also have multiple. Right now we have like 4 Lopez's in the department.
wow.
So yeah, it gets confusing at times. Yeah.
Okay.
So typically yes, but we sometimes use the serial numbers as well.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Richmond Fire Department, Chief Osorio.
Caught me off guard. Usually make me wait till the end of the night.
Yeah, there you go.
Typing notes. Sorry about that. Good evening, everybody. It's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Lots happened since the last time I presented. So I have a little bit of a longer list than normal, but I think it's updates you guys are going to want to know about and the community's going to want to know about. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my notes here. Okay, so this time of year, typically what we do, instead of giving the last month's run details, we summarize the previous year because right now we're in the process of tallying our year-end run totals. So every year at this time, we go back and review our total incident calls and look at trends and percentages and changes and things of that nature. So I'll go over that with you guys first. So the 2025 year-end totals, we responded to 14,284 incidents in 2025. This represents about a 5.5% reduction from 2024 numbers. I'll go over a few notable categories. In structure fires, we responded to 79 working structure fires in the city in 2025, 39 vegetation fires. Vegetation fires and encampment fires proved to be the largest reduction from 2024. Vegetation fires were down almost 49%. Encampment fires, we ran 736 encampment fires for the year. That represents a 17% reduction in encampment fires. 86 vehicle fires, 8,378 EMS responses, and then the rest of it is just a number of different categories. So it was a very busy year for us. It ended in extremely busy fashion over the holidays, which is my next item, is there's a few notable incidents I would imagine members of the community are interested in. We take from about December 20th through New Year's Day, we had 4 significant incidents that impacted the community. On December 20th, we had a 2-alarm structure fire at the apartments at the corner of 8th and Nevin. It's 427 Nevin Street. This is a multi-story residential building, or apartment complex. This fire was on the upper floors. Fortunately, we were able to confine it to that original unit. Just displaced initially that original unit that was on fire. That fire remains under investigation. On Christmas Eve at about midnight, we had the fire at the public storage facility at 398 Carlson Boulevard. This went up to a 3-alarm commercial fire. Just for context, if we go 3 alarms, basically every fire engine in the city is at that fire. We had significant mutual aid provided to us by El Cerrito and Contra Costa Fire. This involved a large 2-story storage facility. The entire wing caught fire, and this was an extended operation. It went from about midnight on one day to the crews didn't clear until 10 o'clock the next night. So it went almost a full 24-hour period with fire personnel on scene. Extremely heavy fire conditions, extremely poor weather, extremely high fire load were all contributing factors to this fire getting so large. That there was a significant loss of property and contents from the folks that had units in that section of the building. They are working with public storage to try to salvage what they can. Many of them will not have access because the building is unsafe to enter and salvage your equipment or your materials. That fire does remain under investigation. It's too dangerous for us to send our investigators in there, and so we can't get into where the seat of the fire is right now. The roof collapsed to the second floor, and the second floor collapsed to the first floor. It's a concrete tilt-up, and the concrete walls on the Carlson side are actually starting to bow out towards Carlson, which is why we had Carlson shut down from cutting all the way to Pullman, because it was a safety hazard to the community. A lot of folks are wondering when that's going to open up, and unfortunately, we don't have a response for them yet. As we phase out of an emergency operation and it transitioned into a recovery and a demolition operation, fire department is no longer the lead agency in the city that oversees this. But I can give a brief summary. On January 7th, Public Storage applied for a demolition permit, and that is being reviewed by the city. The city is ready to expedite it as fast as they can. And it has to go through a process as far as that permit goes. But the hopes is that they will start on the demolition process very soon. And once that wall, the concrete wall on Carlson is down, then we can reopen Carlson Boulevard to traffic. So we're sorry for the inconvenience, but it's for everybody's safety right now. We also had a residential structure fire at the Friendship Manor. That was on New Year's Eve. That was confined to one unit, but it did displace 4 occupants, 4 separate units at Friendship Manor. There were no injuries at that incident. We do know the cause, but we're not really releasing any of the information right now, but it was an intentionally set fire. We're still under investigation. And then lastly, on New Year's, 6 minutes into the new year, basically at 12:06, there was a well-involved 2-story house on Gately that many members of the neighborhood came out and saw that. Unfortunately, there was an occupant that we found deceased in that building that is also under investigation. It was confined to one structure with no damage to the buildings that are adjacent to it. So, like I said, it was an extremely busy holiday period for the fire department, but we have great firefighters, and they got it confined. All these fires were confined basically to the areas where they started. So I'd like to commend them for their work. Something else that was a large program for us is we did the toy program during the holidays since the last time I saw you. It's always a great event. The police and fire toy program, toy giveaway. Just a summary this year. 600 families in West Contra Costa County were served. That was about 2,200 kids. They all received bags of toys customized to their age and gender, a bag of food and chicken. About 110 kids received a bike with a helmet, and that portion of it was paid for in partnership with Richmond Rotary. We always look for volunteers every year. If you ever have a chance to go to the toy giveaway, it's better than getting gifts, watching these kids come in there and how excited they are. So that was an awesome event that we got to do again this year. We really like to thank the partnership between the police and the fire department for getting that done. Michelle was a big key in that, and a couple other members from the police department. Captain Marcus Famui from the fire department was the lead for us, and then Public Works assisted with traffic control. So it was a great event. The next item is going to be just that we're continuing to work on our paramedic deployment program for the city, for the fire department. There's so many aspects of that, but just want to make sure you know that we're still working towards implementing paramedics in the fire department on our 3-year plan that we was presented to the council. Next item, 5, was to be just letting you folks know that I believe it's going to be in February council meetings. I'm not sure on which meeting yet. We will be bringing to the council, if you remember, we passed or adopted, the council adopted the wildfire severity zone maps last year. Those maps, we adopted the maps as is from the state. Previously, through an ordinance, we had parts of Point Richmond in the fire zone. With the new adoption, that went away. But we do feel a need to maintain some level of wildfire prevention measures in the Point Richmond area. So we will be bringing the council to adopt what we will be identifying as a wildfire zone. This will incorporate Point Malati, all of the Chevron Richmond refinery property, and most of Point Richmond, specifically everything that's adjacent to the park. But because of the density, it's going to incorporate areas of the point that are maybe not right adjacent to the park, but if there was a fire in the park that spread to structures, could be impacted. It will not be for any sort of zone 0 requirements But what it would do is ensure that we can maintain the construction regulations that are in alignment with wildfire safety. So what was considered 7A before, so non-combustible construction for new construction, and certain construction requirements for certain types of renovations and remodels, and allow us to enforce Zone 1, which we currently didn't appoint anyways, vegetation inspection, so basically defensible space, keeping your trees trimmed, things like that. Most importantly, though, by adopting this, it'll allow us to enforce vegetation management rules with Chevron that we established through our inspector program with them, and any future use of Point Melati would also be covered by this. So we felt it was important to adopt this area so we can be proactive in having some wildfire regulations in those areas without tying it to the stringent state standards for Zone 0 that will be applied into portions of District 4. So that will be coming to the council for approval, or consideration, sorry. Today we were able to promote another fire inspector. So that will be the 5th fire inspector on staff. I can't remember the last time we had 5 fire inspectors. So we're going in a good direction with the Fire Prevention Bureau and the amount of inspections and permits they're able to issue, and inspect, and still keep a presence of a full-time inspector on the Chevron grounds for inspections that happen on the Chevron facility. And then lastly, we finalized our recruitment for firefighters for 2026. We've issued 10 conditional job offers to fire recruits. Tentatively, the academy will be starting first week of May, and will run 16 weeks. It will be a joint academy in El Cerrito Fire. Plans to add a couple of recruits into the academy that will be held at our training center on Cutting and Steege. So that's the end of my report. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Recently, San Francisco's been promoting new equipment for all their firefighters, the non-forever chemical that they coat the uniforms with that causes other issues for sickness and cancer and such. Is Richmond considering doing anything like that, or have they had any opportunity to expand into that?
Yeah, you're referring to the PFAS-free turnouts, which is the structural PPE we wear for structure fires. The PFAS is found typically in the moisture barrier. Those are three-layer garments that we wear. It's basically like wearing 2 different jackets on top of each other. The internal one has an exterior coating that prevents the water from coming in. And so that's where it has those chemicals. We are looking at it. We're looking into it. We currently do a 10-year life cycle for our turnouts. That's mandated through NFPA. Most likely what will happen is that we have to compare the spec, but if we can get a matching spec to ours so it performs the same in high heat conditions, the goal is to transition over. It is more expensive than the current ones we have. Currently about $8,000 for every 1 set, and every firefighter gets 2 sets. When you go to the PFAS-free, I think they're running about $3,000 more per set. So it's expensive, but we want to start phasing them in now. We're going through the preliminary research process right now just to make sure the specifications meet our needs. But the goal is to transition that way.
Chief Osario, you guys have you guys have some fire departments that are in dire need. And the public wants to know, can you give us a couple of the fire departments so that we can put some support behind that with the city council? I've heard far too often that you guys need to, to update these, and I'd like to see some movement being done on that. So can you just give us a couple of your fire departments that you desperately would like to see have some renovation sooner than later?
So you're referring to which fire stations need infrastructure, have infrastructure needs? If you recall, I think it was in the fall of 2025, the city updated their 5-year CIP. At that time, I submitted what was our most urgent needs for infrastructure. So 66 in the north and east was number one. 67 in South 11th and Cutting, which are both the two oldest active fire stations in the city, both built in the 40s, and no longer can support the needs the way we need them to. And the training center was another one that's also portions of it originally from the 40s. None of those have really had any significant modifications, a couple internal renovations here and there, but for the most part, it's the same building that was built back in the war era. We also have a station on Valley View, 63, is undergoing some significant foundational issues. And so that was added later on as as part of the 5-year CIP plan for the fire department. So right now, those are the priorities. In the end of the day, we can only run so many rebuild projects at once. That's not feasible to think we can rebuild half the fire stations at the same time. So right now, we're trying to take them in a 5-year at a time. Those three would have a huge impact on operations. We also allow us to reconfigure our deployment of apparatus. We currently have crews where they're at. Some of them are there because that's where they fit, but they're no longer in the best location in the city. For example, our truck company is in Crescent Park. Would be better served to be out of 67 on Cutting. It's a more centralized location. The population densities have changed since once that was put in place to now. So we're looking at, as we build these new and plan for these new stations, it's not just about rebuilding the firehouse as it is. It's about adjusting our operational deployment to fit our needs as far as our response needs, based on what I just shared with you in the beginning of this. After that, the council did approve moving towards a paramedic program. That program comes with infrastructure needs to initiate the 3-year implementation and a 5-year. The 3-year, it has an impact because it's adding a squad to 3 fire stations. So we're basically adding 2 more personnel and another fire apparatus to 3 different firehouses strategically placed in the city. Not quite as big of a lift as rebuilding the firehouse, but the Hilltop Station, the North Richmond at 62, at 7th and Hensley, and Carlson and Bayview, those 3 stations were the ones identified as ones that should have squads in the first 3-year deployment. And so those have to be able to accommodate more staff. So all of those right now, we're working with the city on moving those forward. There has been consistent support from the council up to this point. So I think we're moving in the right direction. It's just, it's a big lift. It's a big lift to start a paramedic program, and it's a big lift to rebuild more than one firehouse. And I got over ambitious and tried to do both at the same time. So, but it's what we need in the city. It's what's going to benefit us long term. And really, we're looking at what does the city need for the next 50 years for the fire department to operate appropriately. And this is what we've identified.
Well, thank you. We just want you and the city council to know that we're looking.
Well, I appreciate the support.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Chief. Thanks also for the update on the public storage fire and the road closure situation. And this might be a question more for Carlos Castro of Public Works, but every other day I try to come down Carlson Boulevard traveling southeast, and then I say, oh, it's still closed. If there's any way we could get some earlier detour signs or anything to warn people that they're not going to be able to get down to Cutting, that would be great.
They weren't lit ones. I don't know if maybe they were blown around by the storm. It'd probably be good to have one at South 37th, so folks know that's one of the main detours to get around that. But Carlos probably would be the best one. I can try to send him an email, but if you have his contact direct, it'd be a good recommendation, because our fire engines have to take the same alternative routes too.
Any Cordell? Well,
Take this one.
Like role reversal here.
I heard that. So, Chief Asari, you just answered my question regarding the storage facility when we reopen. So you just answered that question. But the positive side is is the Youth Academy going to be available for community events like Juneteenth coming up?
The cadets, they're available for everything. There's not an event in the city you don't see them at lately, I feel like. So Firefighter Ramirez has those kids all over town. They're a great group of recruits. So they try to help out in almost every single function. Even if the fire department's not there, they're there.
Well, I guess it's my turn.
Be sure to take one of those cards for MLK. We can use a couple of them.
Okay. Got one right here. Thanks.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for your presentation, and I also want to thank your fire department for coming to my house. It's kind of a frequent flyer. Out of the 14,000, you've been to my house 3 times in 2025, and it actually saved my mom's life. So I thank you for that. So also, I wanted to give a shout out to Inspector Dante Wiley. He came to our neighborhood council and gave a great presentation. Fire extinguishers, flammables and all of that. So he did a great job. I wanted to ask you though, on the districts, when you spoke about all of these, are they broke down into districts, all the incidents and?
Yeah, they are. They're currently under what we call them response quadrants. So depending on the size of, like say 64 or Hilltop may have A, B, C, and D quadrants. So
okay.
we can run reports on the quadrants, but if you don't know what our quadrants are, you might not know how far that encompasses. So you'll know that your local fire station responded to it, but you might not realize that 68D is the edge of North Richmond, like the north end of North Richmond possibly. So you'd have to refer to the map, which is actually online. I believe it's on the GIS page in the city, but we can break that down.
It's on the city website, or?
If you go on the city website, there's the, under the business section, you can see that there's a GIS tab. One of the maps you can choose on the GIS, the viewer, is the fire district map. But those do not correspond to council member districts. They correspond to how the city was divvied up equally based on response time when the stations were established where they were put.
Okay, I was just curious because if you have 5 or 6 fires, we'd like to see if they're in the same location or how far they are apart, just for, like we say, shits and giggles.
Yeah, we can split them up by district. I would probably have to use a different tool if we wanted to check concentrations, things like that.
Okay, thank you very much. If there are no further questions, thank you for your presentation, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you. So moving on, the mayor's office. Anyone here from the mayor's office? No? Okay, I'll have to talk to Tony. Moving on to economic development.
Good evening. My name is Antoinette Terrell. I'm the Executive Director of Richmond Housing Authority, and I'll be providing the updates for the Economic Development Division. First, a few updates for environmental and health initiatives. Richmond residents have several options for disposing of natural holiday trees. A new option this year is no-charge curbside holiday tree collection, available from December 26th through January 16th on regularly scheduled collection days. Additional options include placing trees in green waste carts, requesting on-call curbside cleanup, or self-hauling to the Golden Bear transfer station through the first week in February. Flyers with the details are available outside the City Council chambers. For those who qualify, seniors aged 62 and older, as well as residents enrolled in the CARE or FAIR programs, may receive $5 monthly trash bill discounts. Please contact Republic Services at 510-262-7100 to apply for the discount. The Clean Cars for All program is available to eligible Bay Area residents and provides grants of up to $12,000 to help replace older vehicles. Residents can retire a 2007 or older vehicle and replace it with a new or used electric vehicle, or choose the other zero-emission options, including a plug-in hybrid, battery electric vehicle, fuel cell vehicle, e-bike, zero emissions motorcycle, or prepaid transit card. Residents can apply online through the Bay Area Quality Management District. Those who need assistance can contact Grid Alternatives at cleancars@gridalternatives.org or 855-256-3656. Applications are now open for the Black Resiliency Projects Community Advisory Committee. Applications are being accepted beginning January 7, 2026. Additional information about the committee and how to apply can be found on the City of Richmond's website. Next, an update from the Economic and Business Development. The city continues to meet with existing and prospective businesses seeking assistance. Appointments are available through the city's website. The ARPA Small Business Support Program has completed distribution of $350,000, assisting 48 Richmond businesses. The Small Business Facade Improvement Program is now open for eligible businesses in the Island Triangle, Santa Fe, and Coronado neighborhoods. The city also offers on-demand business support in partnership with CoBiz Richmond, providing at no-cost services such as business planning, marketing assistance, and referrals. The Economic Development Commission meets on the second Wednesday of each month. The next meeting is this Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. at City Hall, and there are currently open commissioner positions. The McDonald Avenue Corridor Task Force has been established and is seeking community members to help develop revitalization recommendations. Details for all economic and business development updates can be found on the city's website. Moving on to updates from the port. Interior abatement has been completed at the cafeteria building. The next step is an inspection to evaluate the building's structural integrity. The port released a request for proposals for leasing a general warehouse in 2025, and proposals are currently under review. Dredging at berths 7 and 8 at the Point Petrel Marine Terminal was completed in December, with additional dredging planned for July. Next, a brief update from the real estate division. Dock gatehouse replacements at Marina are underway and include new lighting, electrical upgrades, card key access, and improved security visibility. These improvements are expected to be operational by the end of the month. Landscaping improvements along Marina Way South are also in progress and include vegetation clearance, tree maintenance, and installation of decorative rock barriers to protect sidewalks. Upgrades have been completed to public restrooms at the boat launch ramp and along the San Francisco Bay Trail, including new backflow prevention and security cages. Lastly, a brief update from Richmond Housing Authority. At Richmond Village, we have successfully negotiated the exclusive rights to negotiate agreement. We are currently negotiating the disposition and development agreement for phase 1 of 100 replacement units and preparing to begin our environmental studies at the property. These environmental studies are required as an early step and involve reviewing existing site conditions such as historical use, environmental features, and any potential impacts to ensure the project complies with federal, state, and local requirements. At Nevin Plaza Phase 1, construction has been completed and the property is actively leasing vacant units. Those are our updates for the evening, and thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Any questions from the audience? None online? Well, thank you for your presentation. Moving on, planning. Avery Stark was not here tonight, and he suggested that if anyone has any questions or comments or concerns, to please email him at the planning department. So, Stephanie Nye, you're next.
Yeah, a couple I did, but I didn't catch them. They came late.
Wow, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings that bad.
Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. My name is Stephanie Nye. I am an analyst with the City of Richmond Community Services Department, Recreation and Public Works, and I'm also the liaison to RNCC. As usual, I'd like to start off with a reminder that neighborhood councils have free use of our facilities for your regular meetings. So if you haven't already input your reservation for this year for your neighborhood meetings, please submit your reservation forms to the registration office. You can contact them at 510-620-673 if you have any questions, or visit them 8:30 to 4 Monday through Friday at 3230 McDonald Avenue. Just to recap, since November, we had 3 major city events, and we just want to thank all participants and volunteers who joined us for our annual tree lighting on November 19th, our senior winter ball on December 13th, and those who joined us for our annual snow day event on December 22nd, which unfortunately ended up getting rescheduled due to the weather. So please stay tuned on our social media for the rescheduled date for that, and we look forward to seeing you there. We did still move forward with our Make Your Own Snow Globe workshop with the Richmond Tool Library, and we had 15 happy participants build their own snow globes and get to go home with one of those. And we hope to host one of those again next year. In terms of new events, we invite you to MLK Day of Service on Monday, January 19th, 2026 at Parchester Park, hosted by Recreation, Public Works, Parchester Village Neighborhood Council, and California Volunteers. Make it a day on, not a day off. We'll start off with volunteering from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. This will include refreshing the Mary Peace Head Memorial Garden with new planter boxes, soil, and plants. And we're also finally going to be planting a lemon tree over there. We'll also be weeding, trimming vegetation, and spreading mulch around the areas. Cleaning up trash and dumping, and weather permitting, we'll be doing a lot of painting as well. Painting fences, painting shade structures, painting concrete planters, so on and so forth. If you would like to come, please come dressed for outdoor work. That would be closed-toed shoes, long sleeves, and long pants. Tools, supplies, and lunch will be provided to volunteers. After that, we'll have a community celebration from 12:30 to 3, curated by Parchester Village Neighborhood Council. Join us for lunch and a program commemorating Dr. King's legacy at the community center. Please register by scanning the QR code on the flyer in front of you. You can also find this information on the City of Richmond website. Next, I'd like to invite everybody to the second community design meeting regarding the development of a new MLK Community Center and renovated park. Join the City of Richmond at the Nystrom Elementary School's multi-purpose room on Wednesday, January 14th, that's this Wednesday, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Interpretation and childcare services are available, food and beverages will be provided, and there will even be an opportunity to win prizes. In terms of programs, the Richmond Annex Senior Center has introduced a new adaptable Zumba class for those who want to exercise but can't stand for extended periods of time. Classes are held first and third Wednesdays from 12:30 to 1:15 at the Annex Senior Center. Additionally, there is scheduled maintenance taking place at the Annex Senior Center, so they'll be closed from Tuesday, January 20th through Friday, February 6th. However, during this time, programs will be relocated to the Richmond Auditorium. So if you want to attend one of those Zumba classes, they'll be at the auditorium during that time. I also want to remind everybody that the Richmond Tool Library, starting in October last year, we're now open 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Fridays, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., and we're hoping to add on a third day sometime this spring. So as you get ready for your spring cleaning, sign up for the Tool Library and grab some tools. That's about it for new programs. If you'd like to know any information about our existing programs, of which we have many, please visit the City of Richmond Recreation webpage. Our activity guide is posted there, or you can also visit us at the registration office at 3230 McDonald Avenue, or call us at 510-620-6793. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to Alexis Grace for Neighbor to Neighbor, and this is going to be her final RNCC meeting with us.
Good evening, everybody. This is my last, overview of Neighbor to Neighbor. So I will be covering December and January events that we've had. So as of December, like Stephanie said, we had city-led events, which was Extreme Hip Hop. What was a new class that we started at the Rec Complex, and then we will be completing this upcoming Saturday at the Rec Complex, 3230 McDonald Ave. In addition to our yoga classes, they were completing. We resumed those as well, and our last class will be next Saturday, January 24th, either at the Rec Complex or Booker T. Anderson Community Center. And that's just an overview. As you all know, this past Saturday, we had the honor of just celebrating all the neighborhood councils here in the city of Richmond who participated into Neighbor to Neighbor. We had well over, 100 communities members come out, not only just to celebrate the city of Richmond, but to celebrate all the neighborhood councils here and just to say thank you. So yes, that completes our Neighbor to Neighbor overview for here at the city of Richmond. And thank you all.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments? Any in the audience? Any online?
Yes, the Honorable AJ Jelena, please.
This is the Honorable A.J. Jelani speaking. Richmond's favorite son, President of Belton Woods Neighborhood Council for quite some time, and many years. I know pretty much everybody there. I just wanted to say that in our presence are two angels, Miss Stephanie and Miss Grace, took it upon themselves. I don't know who designed the Neighbor to Neighbor project program, but it was wonderful for our neighborhood to bridge the gap of communication and understanding between the city, its residents, and the professionals like you guys. We thank them so much for assisting us with the National Night Out. And we also thank them for our Christmas program, because without them, these things would not have been possible, to lend their expertise, professionalism, and all that they could to bridge the gap of understanding between the community and make this world a better place. So I don't want to blow it up too much, but I'm in love with those two young ladies. So just put that on the line for me. And I just want them to never leave us, always think about us. And if you have to leave, don't stay too long, okay? And I just thank all you guys for trying to make Richmond a better place to live. God bless you all, and good night.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, this is Crystal Barton, President, Laurel Park Neighborhood Council. I was really kind of hard to follow what he just said. I wanted to just thank you both, Stephanie and Alexis, for your hard work with Neighbor to Neighbor. It definitely had its challenges, but you never wavered on your commitment to the city and to the neighborhood councils and trying to help them do whatever they wanted to do. And so I just wanted to thank you. Thank you for getting the grant. Thank you for your commitment to our community and having an opportunity for us to get to know our neighbors a little bit better. And so that's it. Just wanted to say thank you.
Anyone else? I also concur. I wanted to say thank you to both of you, and thank you to RCF and Jim for actually being a fiscal sponsor. So thank you too. So moving on to Public Works, is Carlos Castro? I thought he got a...
I am here.
You're here.
I thought you were promoted.
I am here. I did get promoted, and I was watching the last meeting in November, even though I was off, and I heard kind words, but I will not be leaving you guys at this time. You're stuck with me.
That's okay. We can deal with that.
We'll accept that.
All right. Okay. Good evening, everybody. I just have a couple quick updates. I wanted to do something like what Chief Osario did and come with our numbers that we performed for the 2025 calendar year, but I wasn't able to get that ready in time. I have a couple guys off right now, so I'm running around a lot. So I'll just do a couple quick updates. For our paving crew, since last we spoke, we wrapped up our season paving Visalia between 15th and 17th. We paved Hull Drive, and then we paved 6th Street from Barrett to Mack. That's right there by Nevin Park. If you were familiar with that street, that was a pretty rough street. So I'm very glad that we got to do that before the rainy season started. Right now, the next probably 2 months, our paving crew is going to be doing spot repairs. We'll be doing patchwork. We'll also be doing potholes. And then during the rainy times, we help with flood alleviation. Whenever there's flooding on the streets, we try to surface clean any drain inlets. If there's a problem underneath the surface, then we'll call Veolia and dispatch them. But if it's on the surface, if it's just leaves or garbage that's stopping water from entering the drain inlet, then we'll clean that off and try to get that water into the drain inlet as quick as possible. Our sign crew, again, they follow right behind the paving crew. We've also done some projects that I know that you guys are aware of. We refreshed the sweeping signs in Parchester. We're about 75% done with refreshing all sweeping signs in the Fairmead Hilltop area, and then we'll be moving on from there. We're getting a lot of requests for faded street sweeping signs, and I know that because the citations are in effect again. We are doing spot repairs when we do get the request, but something that's on my agenda for this year and for the coming years is to replace each neighborhood individually so that each neighborhood is going to have brand new sweeping signs that are legible, not faded, not missing, and you guys will be able to see those. Our sign crew also installed, and now we've taken down the holiday decorations that are on McDonald Avenue, and we have recently installed, again, I don't have my numbers with me, but a lot of red curbs. We have installed a lot of red curbs all throughout the city. Our sweepers, it's normal operation. There has been some mechanical failures with our sweepers, and then with the last 2 weeks of the year, there was a lot of vacation time mixed in. So there might have been a fill-in operator sweeping a certain day. Um, I do want to remind everybody that during inclement weather, we will not sweep. So basically, if it's raining pretty hard or if there's already standing water in the gutter, we will not sweep because we're not going to pick anything up and we're just wasting our time. Instead, what we'll do is our sweeper operators will fill sandbags and deliver sandbags. Um, so it's a judgment call that we make. It doesn't. There's not a certain parameters. It's just a judgment call that I have to make that day. So feel free to give me a call if you want to check if we're sweeping on any given day. Feel free to give me a call. Before I'm done, I'll put my information in the chat again, just so everybody has it. Um, uh, our next holiday schedule will be Monday, the 19th. We will not sweep on Monday, the 19th, and our normal schedule will resume on Tuesday. So if the 19th is your sweep day, it just gets missed and then gets resumed on its next normal sweep day. So let me check something really quick. So that would be the third Monday. So your route will probably get skipped again also in February. Uh, just FYI. January does have 2 fifth days, the 29th and the 30th. We'll be sweeping Richmond Parkway. Depending on weather, we'll be sweeping Richmond Parkway those days. Um, Also, the week of the 19th, there won't be too much work going on from our pavement maintenance staff because that week we do our annual trainings. We try to get it done in January so that we don't have to stop in the summertime when we're rocking and rolling with our paving and our signs. And then just a reminder that we have two self-fill sandbag stations. The first one is located by our courtyard. It's at the back gate. It's on Harbor Way, close to the Greenway. There's a pile of sand there, and we leave sandbags. The other one is at 5100 Hartnett Ave, the parking lot for the Bayview Library. Again, we have a pile of sand there. We have empty sandbags. You're more than welcome to fill up sandbags if you need them during storms. And then senior citizens or disabled citizens can call us to request sandbag delivery. That is all I have. I will take any questions, and then after my questions, I do want to introduce Mr. Tawfiq Halabi for those of you that don't know him.
No, Tawfiq, any questions?
Hey, Carlos, I don't have a question. I just wanted you to know that the sign on the Richmond Parkway directing traffic to 580 for San Rafael is down completely.
Oh, is it?
I don't know whether the wind knocked it down or I don't know what's happening with it, but it's on its face, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Rita, go ahead.
Oh, thanks. Hi. Hi, Carlos and Tawfiq. Question. Well, a couple of questions. When is the street sweeping for Marina Bay? That's one question. And then the second question, might be more for Tawfiq, but I wanted to check in with who's actually still working in Public Works. We've had lights out in Marina Bay at the park, and I know there was a citywide copper theft going on, and a lot of residents, neighborhoods, their lights were out, and this was last year, and I was told that the residential neighborhoods would be first in sense of priority, and then the parks. And so walked the park the other day and still see that there's, the paneling uplifted, copper sticking out. So I'm wondering what's going on with that. Has there been any improvement? When can we expect the lights to be working? Hopefully you heard me.
We
Yes.
did. We heard you. So I'll go first
Oh,
for the
great. Thanks.
sweeping question. I will email you tomorrow because I want to be 100% sure before I give you those days.
Okay,
Can you
thanks.
put your email in the chat for me?
I sure can.
All right, thank you.
To answer the second question about streetlights, we have had some severe vandalism at various locations throughout the city, as you mentioned. I don't know the sequence of repairs, but if you can provide the locations within the Marina Bay neighborhood that have been vandalized, we will add them to our list of repairs. We have unfortunately, it's been very difficult for staff to keep up with the repairs. I'll note that you mentioned, Rita, that there's some perhaps some dangerous wires sticking out. I'd also like to find out the locations so we make sure we go to those locations and mitigate any hazards. So.
Any other questions, comments?
Oh.
Can you give me some email again of who we should send those notices to? Because all the lights in Southside Park at South 6th Virginia have now gone dark one by one, and I can read all that.
Were you able to hear that, Carlos?
No.
Okay.
Could you step up to the mic? Thank you. Just a second. We have some concerns here.
All right.
Oh, I was just asking if you could repeat your email, and I want to let you know bad news that all the lighting in the main part of Southside Park at South 6th in Virginia, as far as you can kind of see into the park, looks like all those lights have been taken out by a local vandal. They've been kind of going one by one, and this evening, the park is completely dark.
So my email for any streets maintenance related issues, paving, potholes, street sweeping, signs, traffic markings, you can reach me at Carlos_Castro at ci.richmond.ca.us. And I'll put it in the chat also.
Okay, and for lighting?
Tawfiq?
Yes, you can email me. My first name is Tawfiq, and it's spelled T for Thomas, AWF for Frank, TAWFIC for Charles. That's TAWFIC. Underscore, and then my last name Halaby is HALABY. HALAB for boy Y at siad@richmond.ca.us.
Thank you.
Thank you. I also wanted to ask myself, did you have a question? I wanted to ask myself, I guess I'm in the 25 percentile for the Fairmead Hilltop because the street sweeping signs are still the same.
What street do you live on, Ardo?
Loyola, right on the,
Yep,
my
you are
street
in the
runs into the college
25%.
parking lot.
Okay.
Sound familiar?
Yep. That whole. Excuse me. Surprise, surprise, right? Yes, you are in the 25%.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold right now. Loyola, I think Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I want to say
Duke.
Duke. I think we have to still do that section.
Okay. Okay. I know it's coming. It's been a minute, but
It's coming. It's coming.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So do you guys actually, if it's raining outside, are you guys actually street sweeping it? Are you still ticketing? Do you know, are they ticketing if it's actually raining?
No, we are in communication with parking enforcement. If we're not going to sweep, we let them know right away, and then they don't go to the neighborhood and issue citations.
So how is the public made aware, or are they?
They're not, unfortunately.
So it's just guess.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to call me. A light, sprinkle, drizzle, we'll still try to sweep because we can pick stuff up then.
Yeah.
But if it's real wet, we're just wasting time.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Are there any other questions from the audience or online? Lori?
Tofik, I know that they have installed some solar lights. Do you have any update on which area is due to get solar lights? Because we are trying to, I'm grateful that the city is actively looking at getting rid of, these lights because they're just still in the copper. But I was curious if there was like a rotation that was due. I was pleasantly surprised to come down the Parkway and be able to drive. I avoid the Parkway past 5 o'clock because it was just dark 30. So it was wonderful to be able to see some lights on the Parkway actually working. But I was curious as to what the city was doing as far as, implementing more solar lights and where they would be installed next.
Okay. Yes, you're correct. We have requested some additional funding from City Council to be able to install solar lights across the city. And we have received some additional funding as of, I believe it was in December. So I don't have a schedule, but Lori, you are welcome to email me and we will get some more information to you. We have had extensive vandalism. And so what we're trying to do is go to different parts of the city and put up solar lights.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing that there are no more questions, I want to thank you too for showing up and giving us a presentation. And we look forward to seeing you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds good. We'll see you next month.
Yes, sir. So moving on, for old business, I guess it could be considered new business. The East Shore Neighborhood Council elections will be Wednesday. I will not be able to attend. I'll be down south. Our vice president and some of our e-board members are gracious enough to attend. Cordell?
Yes, and first, I must commend the RNCC for a lovely Christmas party last month. Everything was just wonderful. The food was delicious. I even tried Jan's dish, and I was like, it was so good. And I said, so hopefully we can have that again for this coming December. So that's a possibility. But what I forgot to mention in the announcements is that everyone's invited to the Contra Costa Mayor's Conference on February the 5th. And guess what? The city of Richmond is hosting. So it will be either in the auditorium or the country club. So I will get more information by later this month. So, but you have to RSVP ahead. So it's $70 per person. That includes dinner. I've been to the mayor's conference last month. It was fantastic. But I did have some possible guest speakers to come for in the months ahead. So as I brought up last time out, it was I mentioned about having Logan Robinson to come speak to us about what Home Match does, because I find this program very informative, because we have a lot of elders in our community, and it would be great if we have someone like, be in their home so that way they can feel safe, because there has been, if you've seen the news, there's been like, trip hazards, like for elders, and I'm thinking like, if we had a person of a certain age can be in their home, that would be helpful. That's one possibility. And the other option was, I was thinking that we invite a representative from Caltrans to come and present to us about the, what do they call those, medians, because it's like, because I walk the greenway behind my house daily, and it's becoming a concern. So I'm thinking that Caltrans needs to be invited to a future meeting, to tell us what their plans are to address medians, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully they'll be coming in the upcoming months.
Thank you. And I just wanted to touch on seniors, since Cordell brought it up. If you have home security for your house that's being monitored, I just wanted to let you know that some of these home security systems, you can get a panic button, which is a button for elderly folks in your home. Like for me, it would be my mom. You can hold it down, and the security calls 911 in the event that she can't make it to the telephone, or they can't make it to the telephone. So just a public service announcement. So moving on, February 9th is our Black History Month, and we hope you can all attend. We will be honoring some of our oldest neighborhood council presidents, those being Doris Mason from the Iron Triangle, AJ Jelani, who you heard from earlier, J.C. Farr from East Shore Neighborhood Council, and our Honorable Nat Bates. I don't know if anybody has heard of Nat Bates, but those four folks we will be honoring for our Black History Month extravaganza, and I think we will just have presidents' presentations, and then we will avoid the rest of the agenda and focus on those four people. So, yeah, no staff presentations, exactly. Thank you. So that being said, our next meeting is February 9th, 2026. It'll be our Black History Month dedication, so I hope you all can make it there. In closing, is there anyone that would like to add anything before we close the meeting? No? Seeing no one? It is 8:48, January 12th, 2026. Thank you all, and go Niners.